So my next video needs a setup because it's pretty fucking cool. I heard from a friend of mine that Henry Rollins was coming to town. I'm to Moncton, right? Whoa. Henry Rollins is the whole reason why I do these YouTubes. I listen to his spoken word, and it's pretty fucking blown away by it a lot of the time. So he's a little bit of an idol. I'm like, oh, Henry Rollins is awesome. So I sent him a message because I had heard he answers his own mail. And I sent him a message saying, hey, you're coming to Moncton. That's my shithole. Ha. You know, if you want a good place to stay, you probably want to stay at the Delta because he's playing at the Capitol, and the Capitol's a nice little venue. And I said, if you're going to be stay at the Delta because it's right across, and if you want a good place to eat, maybe go to the Keg. And I'm like, they're a little expensive, but I hear the food's really good. And I said, if you, I'm not affiliated with Moncton or any of these companies. And if I was, I'm doing a really shitty job. But if you want the non-PR answers about, if you want something to do in Moncton, I'm the guy to talk to. Or just, I'm not really the guy to talk to, but I'm offering an opinion. Well, I know everything that goes on in the city, man. Anyway, so at the end of the letter, I put signed Jamie Snow, and in brackets I put, yes, the Jamie Snow, and, the in big letters. So he sends a message back, and it says, oh my God, the Jamie Snow. Holy shit, I told my mom, and she didn't believe me. Oh my God, the Jamie Snow. I thought that was pretty funny. That seems like something Hank would say. And then the night of the show rolls around, and we go in there. And the Capitol, I haven't been there in a long time. It used to be a movie theater back in the day. I remember going to see Jedi there, and I think E.T., my mom brought me to see those, and I was pretty horrified when I saw Jabba the Hutt. He freaked me out, because it's just scary as fuck when you're a youngin'. But anyway, it's beautiful. It looks like an old Victorian fucking stage. It's really nice. Still a little cramped, just like a Victorian stage would be, like a Victorian setup. But really, really, really nice. So we're sitting there for, I don't know, about 40 minutes, and then Hank comes out to thunderous applause, and from what I could see on the stage, I couldn't see him, I could see him well enough, but I could tell he had lost weight, and his hair is almost all white now, it's really white, not white like fucking Jimmy Page white, but it's getting there. Anyway, he opens up, and basically just unloads on us fucking for 3 hours. It was amazing. He just went on and on and on. All these different stories and outlooks and all these different issues going on, like a prom getting canceled because a lesbian wanted to go with her girlfriend and wear a guy's tuxedo. And he was like, yeah, don't you think all the guys would be a little bit excited about that? They had no fucking problem. But anyway, they canceled the prom, and then they sued or something like that, which is awesome. I mean, I went on a big rant about how 10% of the population is gay and they can't get married. Well, see, I didn't know that you can do it in Canada now, which is kind of cool, but there's a lot of states where you can't do it. There's a lot of places in the world that, you're dead if you do that, which is ridiculous. I mean, 10% of the population is gay. It's a massive human rights violation to not let them do whatever the fuck they want. They're not hurting anybody. Who gives a shit what they do? I'm fucking so tired of people sticking their nose in everyone else's business saying, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't have an abortion if you want to. Whose fucking choice is it? It's not yours. It's theirs. Anyway. His rants are pretty amazing. He talks about how he goes to different places in the world. Every time George Bush would get in a fight with a country, he would go over to that country and kind of get, the ground view. He would, no bullshit, no news, just himself wandering around. And I'm kind of surprised he didn't, get fucking... He had gotten attacked one time at home when he was with a buddy of his, and the burglars thought he was rich because he's kind of like a celebrity, and he wasn't even that huge at the time. And they tried to rob him, and he's like, I don't have any money, I'm fucking, not like that. They ended up killing his buddy, and he barely got away. And I mean, he's the only time I've ever had to run for my life is in my own country in America. It's everywhere else I go in the world, everyone's so nice, and they're just struggling to get by, and they're hardworking motherfuckers, and they're just honest. And so anyway, 3-hour show, his voice doesn't give out or nothing. He's just hammering away, I'm kind of surprised I stay focused the whole time, because he's just, all these turns and all these new stories, and, it's just crazy. And when he went to get off the stage, thunderous applause. And then we all go to file out, and we're all in the front room, and we're waiting. There's a lot of people standing around, and then someone came out and said, no, Hank's not coming out. And we're like, oh. So we remembered on the way in, we passed by the back of the Capitol, and the bus was there. And we're like, well, that has to be Hank's bus. So there was already 15 people waiting or so. So my buddy and I thought, well, let's just see what happens. He's gonna, maybe he'll come out and say hi or something. So we waited about 15 minutes outside. And Hank stepped out with his, I don't know if it's a buddy of his manager. We saw him a couple times. And everyone started applauding. And when I looked over, I didn't recognize him because his hair was so white. I was like, oh, it's Hank. So he comes over and, starts shaking hands. He starts, signing. People were bringing in Black Flag LPs, like getting them signed. I thought that was really fucking cool. He must have thought that was neat. So, they're all like, great show, and he's just sitting there just loving it. Not like he's a glory hog, but he's the type of guy that has all the time in the world. Like, he really, when I got to talk to him, I was like, thank you for taking the time to, like, hang out with us for a minute. I think that's really cool. He's like, no, thank you for your time. I'm like, I'm home with Wes now. What's my time working? Anyway, so when I got to go talk to him, I'm the next in line. He looks over at me. I'm like, hi, I'm Jamie Snow, the Jamie Snow. So, I thought that would be hilarious. And what I had set up was my buddy Rochelle was going to have a camera and record his reaction so that Henry Rollins would be like, the Jamie Snow. And I put that on YouTube so that everyone would think, oh my God, Henry Rollins thinks Jamie Snow is cool. Like, wow. And it didn't quite work out. Like, I told her to hold off on the camera because I hate editing and I don't want to do any editing. So I wanted her to just go when he said the Jamie Snow, but she didn't record right away and she wasn't looking right at him, so it looks a little fucked up, but you get the message. So it didn't turn out as cool as I wanted to, but what a great little idea to do anyway. So I go up to him and I say, I'm the James Snow, and he looks at me like for a second, like, and I thought, oh shit, he doesn't actually answer his own mail. Oh, maybe he's just, maybe he's a liar, just like in the song. So and then he looks at me for a second and he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't recognize you, man. He's like, yeah, I know, we got a whole bunch of pictures of you in the bus, and, you're doing all this crazy shit, and I couldn't help but laugh, like one of my idols is going on, and I'm just joking, like, busting my balls, which I thought was fucking great. And then I didn't know what to say to him, and I didn't want to, I felt like a retard for, just being so happy around Hank, being like, and then I got a picture taken with him on Facebook, and I'm like, I looked so happy, I'm like, yeah, Rochelle wants you to sign her book, so signed the book. I'm like, yeah, can we get a photo? So I took a photo of her with Hank, and then she took a photo of me with Hank, and I'm like, don't steal the spotlight. So he's lost a lot of weight. He's really lean now, actually, but it reminds me of my buddy Sean, who used to be quite beefy back in the day because, around high school area, he was working out. He was going, being a wrestler. He was all buff and everything, and then he started traveling around doing the circuit, like going to Asia and all these different, Thailand, you name it. And then we came back. He was just a thin man, but it's because he stopped working out, and the food over there, I guess, is lean. It's just, I don't know, maybe that's what the diet he's on, but he was just, anyway, Hank's the same way. He's still cut and everything. He's still probably in really good shape, but he's starting to look really haggard, man. He's just, he's 49. I mean, he's not lived a nice, peaceful life, like, by any means. I mean, if you guys don't know anything about him, he became the front man for Black Flag, and I never really even listened to Black Flag that much. I really like his song, like, Liar. That was a great song, but I really haven't listened to much of his music. I really like him for a spoken word, though. Anyway, listening to his spoken word, just going on, putting posters up all over pillars, all over telephone poles in Los Angeles, getting hassled by the cops, having to miss meals here and there, sleeping in fucking groupies' floors because they just had no place to stay. And the cops are always fucking with him. He hates the LAPD because they're a bunch of dicks. I mean, they'd go play a punk show, and they finally get a venue, and people are throwing beer bottles at them, and it's hitting the fences and shattering, so, like, fucking glass would hit them in the face and shit, and guys are getting on stage and punching Hank, and just all this crazy shit. So he's really lived the fucking hard rock and roll life. It's not glamorous. He's like, I'm not a celebrity. Oh, I'm just, I don't know, whatever he is, but he's a guy who's genuinely trying to use his resources and his power for good. Like, he's really unselfish guy. He really wants human rights to be put into the spotlight. Like, he really cares about people, which is really cool. Like, he actually took the time to fuck with me, which is really good. Anyway, I'll put the video up next, and you guys can have a look and tell me what you think. And it's just a shame it didn't work out as perfectly as I wanted to, but at least you guys got the idea. Like, you tried to see what I did, and it actually worked out. It just didn't. I don't blame Rochelle. I told her to pause the camera, so it's kind of my fault anyway. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.